Scorpio. Welcome to New Orleans. Share this moment with me, please, because we've come so far together already. And here I am, almost halfway across the country now, in one of the most magical, haunted, historic, and sensual places in the United States of America. That's New Orleans. It knows how to party, it knows how to dive into the occult. It knows how to have this strength of character that endures. Very, very scorpionic energy all around me. And I want to ask you a question. When you bring up the sensitive topics to them, do they automatically shut you down? Do they automatically pretend like you're making something out of nothing and that nothing is wrong? Or twist things and make you feel guilty about them, make you feel guilty for seeing what they didn't want you to see. And so now you're supposed to be in the middle and wrapped up in their game of pretend so that they can continue to lie to themselves. Just felt a drip. So they can continue to lie to themselves and blame you for not also jumping on the bandwagon to lie to them. Becomes your fault. And then there's the temptation in you to go along with it because it's easier that way. You just don't want to be yelled at all the time by somebody that you actually care about. You just don't always want every time they're in the room with you for there to be this reason for you to walk on eggshells. And so let's just not talk about it. And yet here we are. The past is reemerging. It's coming back. And this follows through last week's reading of that past reemerging. And I saw that there was very few views. Very few Scorpios were interested in this conversation. And I think that's unfortunate because what that says to me is that there are very many Scorpios that are not willing to or wanting to confront. Now that could be me. It could be a judgment, and I don't mean to be unfair to you guys. But ultimately, there's one reason why I'm here, and that is to help. Not to enable, to help. And nobody ever helped anybody by not telling them the truth. But it's true. They are not ready to hear the truth. No matter how clear it is to you, they are not ready to hear it. And they are acting like everything is just fucking fine. Grand old times. Happy times. What did you say to me? Why are you asking those questions? Do you want to start something? Because you got it all wrong. You're making something out of nothing. It's not a big deal. How do you love someone who doesn't love themselves? It's almost like they refuse to allow you. And that's what you want to do more than anything, is to help, to make it better. But is the version of them that you have in your head, is it real? Or is it something that you want so badly you're projecting it onto the person in front of you because they're living and breathing in front of you? When what you really need to do is look elsewhere. So that you can see the veil pulled back and them for what they really are. How much of your life depends on their lie. That's the real confrontation here. That's the real rub and the real frightening part. Let's get into the cards. Scorpio, please do subscribe. Help the channel grow. And of course, join me for the extended. That's in the description box below. Your past is affecting your present. Haunting. It makes it more sultry. It makes it more passionate. I'm surrounded by haunted ballrooms. This is New Orleans. The ghosts are part of the attraction. There's a sensuality here, a thickness in the air, a feeling that things just stick and stay and don't change. And there's this beautiful sensuality to that. So there is a portion of you that this is our love. This is the way that we love. This seediness, this rottenness, this oldness, this stuff that's supposed to be gone but won't, this residual aspect of our oldness, of our history together, that stickiness is part of what tastes so good. It's part of what I like so much. It's part of what I don't want to see go away. So I'm more than happy to engage them in their fantasy. I'm more than happy because I love that fantasy. It feels good to me. And there is a fantasy here, a sensuality, an eroticism about the dead being in the room with you. Let it shine. This is your energy, but it's in reverse. So this is a cocoon stage, wanting to stay in the cocoon because it's hot and it's steamy and it's painful, but it's things that you can rely on. You know what's inside this cocoon. You know what's inside this world that the two of you live in or that you're in. You understand how to navigate even the pain of this circumstance. What's on the outside is the enemy. What's on the outside is what's fearful. So let's stay inside. Let's stay inside, cuddled together, hold up together. So what we're pretending? I love pretending. Pretending is part of the fun. It's a very sensual reading. It's very sick, but it's sensual. Let it shine. It tells me that you are being repressed, that you are not able to speak all that you know. And you want to. You're gasping for air. You want to breach that depth that you've been stuck under, that heaviness, that weight. You're ready for the freedom. You're ready to come up and splash and take in the air. You need it. You need it because you're suffocating. But in order to take in the air, your voice must open. And opening your voice risks exposing what's stuck in your throat. What's stuck in your throat? What is stuck in your throat, Scorpio? What is it that you have not been able to say in risk of them pretending that it doesn't exist or pretending that you're insane? Because they're still very much what you agreed to pretend with me. Don't you remember, Scorpio? You agreed to take me on this fantasy. You led me into the depths. That's what I signed up for. You don't get to bring me out of it now. But is that where you're supposed to live forever? The underworld. Because right now, with Pluto in retrograde, that's in conjunction with Saturn in retrograde and Jupiter in retrograde, all of those planets together, moving together in retrograde, they're all about digging up the shit. They're all about people calling people out on their crap and not letting it fly. And Neptune is in retrograde now as well. So it's all about the veil and the fantasy being broken. And guess what? The reality is now the new fantasy. You've been stuck in fantasy for so long, or this person has been stuck in fantasy for so long. It's like reality is the new fantasy. This is the most sensual place to be because it's the scariest place to be. It's the most haunted place to be. Reality is the most haunted place to be. Because fantasy is easy. Reality is dangerous. And they want you so badly to stay in the fantasy with them because they don't want the danger, but you do. You're ready for it. And there's a part of you that's a little bit tired of them not being ready for it because it's about damn time. We came up for air and we got a different point of view. How long are you going to keep me down here? But you live down here, Scorpio. Not all the time. The position of Scorpio is not the underworld. It's the bridge between the underworld and the land of the living. It's transformation. It's growth. It's transition. It's new life. I want air. I want the land of the living. I want them both. I want to be able to come up for air and then dive back down in the deep. I want somebody who can do both with me, who doesn't need me to be stuck in that circumstance or situation with them always. I think they're going to follow you. I think they need you. Life without you would be unbearable for them. Maybe they're an air sign. Perhaps that's why they were so sweet to begin with, because they brought a sense of breath into your life, that air in your lungs that you hadn't experienced for so long. But they are very defensive, and they use their cunning and they use their argumentative skills, their words. They use them to manipulate and to twist, and always force you back into that place that they need you. They need you to continue to carry their fantasy, but they're milking your energy. That fantasy is their need for that fantasy. It's like you're their drug dealer, and the drug is the fantasy that you create, that life is good and life is okay and everything's all right, and don't question me and don't ask me and stop being so deep. Can we just please stay on the surface? But I thought you wanted me to go deep. Isn't that what you want? You want me? No, I don't want you to actually look around under there and see the truths that I'm hiding and confront me about them. I just want you to be smothered and shut the fuck up down there and let me just play and be happy, and you be my solid ground, please. Fuck no. Feels good, feels like you're in control. But this is where the cracks start to happen, because you start to realize, who is really in control here? Is it me? Am I the one in control? Because it doesn't feel that way. I don't feel, when I actually come up for air, that I have many choices at all here. And these are the cracks that are starting to appear. And I'm telling you, they need you a hell of a lot more than you need them. A hell of a lot more. There is a part of you that loves the fantasy. This is not somebody that you just want to dump. The way that they make you feel is exhilarated and powerful, because you have so much power and influence over them. But here's the rub. The more power you have over them, the less power you have over your own life. And that's the real scary aspect. How badly do you want that influence over them? How badly do you want to be their everything? Because if you want it so badly, then you're saying you're willing to lose all of yourself for being it. And so be it if that's your choice, this reckless abandon through the veil of just an I will be a permanent ghost moaning in the walls, but I'll be part of the story. And I'll possess their minds, and that'll be enough for me. For now, maybe that'll be enough for you. I'm going to see, because I'm going to pull some tarot cards. Please join me. The link to the extended is below. Enjoy New Orleans. See you over in the extended.